Orchard, so there are overrides for for handling the request and all that stuff.
So
And for
I got
autofact
all that
plugging in.
working. I didn't have to create any custom connections or anything. I just created a hub, created the JavaScript little file, and it just worked.
Yeah, because that was the idea. There is a lot of code that uses that makes everything from autofact to being injected into from Signaler being injected into autofact to register themselves and so on. So yeah, it should work out of the box.
Well, I did that in about 3 lines of code for autofac, and there seems to be a lot of autofac set up in your module. I'm just wondering, is there a reason why? Do I need it all? Because it doesn't seem to be needed.
All the code related to autofac is just for if you have a hub object that you have in your module, so you can inject anything from Orchard inside your hub and use it. I don't know, transaction manager, content manager, anything.
Yeah, I've got all those injected. It might be worth me showing you sometime because I didn't need hardly any code in order to get it working. And I just wondering why.
You shouldn't.
I mean, I could probably demo it if you guys want. It's up to you. You want a little demo?
No.
Okay, fine.
No, it's okay. Go.
I'm not doing it.
What is it that you want to demo?
No, I just wanted to show that. I mean, I tried using Pietro's module to do.
You'll ask him offline.
Stuff, but I didn't really need much code to get it. I didn't use your module in the end. I ended up writing it myself, and I hardly needed anything. I just wondered why there was so much, and if I was something I was missing.
Transactions. Just transactions. 75% of the code is for making Signaler work within the work context scope. So if you haven't used a content manager or didn't try saving a lot of stuff inside the hub, so
I've got that working already.
Yeah, but I put a stress test on it, and it works like 95% of the time, but the other 5% of the time is, you'll get transaction exceptions.
Okay, that's fine.
Because of, the Signaler spawns lots of threads under the hood, and, Orchard requires that the single request runs on the single thread, because of the transaction disposal, which has to happen on on the same thread. So if in most of cases the calls are so fast that there is no thread being spawned, but in some cases it is, and it bombs everything.
Okay, no worries. That's fine.
Thank you, guys. See you next week. Bye. This was a meeting. That's it.
Okay.
Topic.
How about doing triage today?
Yes, we can take some time to do some triage.
Did you have a demo for us this week?
I could show the progress and the workflow. Because I remember I've shown you something which was interesting. So what's the difference between what was it? Is it the parallel?
Parallel. No, you had that multiple box. I don't know how you call it. That enables you to wait for multiple.
Oh yeah, that's a parallel,
events.
the branch. Okay, yes, this and maybe the timer also was not done one last week.
No.
Okay, and the UI, I improved the UI a lot. Okay, let me show you. So it's open now.
Did you hook it into forums?
Cool, is it? Well, but since what I will show you, I've refactored a lot of the code, most of the code, just to be able to do trickier stuff because there was some limitation with the implementation, and when I wanted to do a new task, I was blocked. So this is a sample workflow that I showed to Bertrand last week for the status. So this one is the starting activity for the workflow. So the workflow is actually idle on this activity if there is nothing running, the workflow definition. And now when you click on an activity, you've got a nice toolbar. So this contextual buttons, so which means that all the activities don't have the same, you see, buttons. So this one is just to define if the activity is a start or not start activity for the workflow. This one is to edit the workflow properties, so you can just double click or click edit. See?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
This one is to delete, and you can confirm. I don't want to delete this one. So this one is, you saw it last week, was to check if a user is in a specific role. This one was to wait for a user to do a specific action. Here it's configured to either accept or reject, to do an accept or reject. So what is it doing here? So it's doing, for first check if the current user is administrator, then if the user is administrator, it goes to this one. This one is a branch, so it will execute some activities in parallel. So here it just says there is one branch which goes to user tasks, so it's waiting for user to accept or reject something like a content, but in the same time it's also waiting for an event like, okay, the content has been published. So let's say the authorized user hasn't accepted or rejected, but someone has published the content because he had the right, then it will kill the workflow and cancel all other waiting activities. And a third branch starting from this branch activity is a timer. This one says if after 1 day nothing has been done, so it's waiting like for 1 day. So if this one hasn't been done and this one hasn't been done in 1 day,
So should there be a parameter on the branching box to specify whether any of those events
this is what
happen, or
this
I mean, you see what I mean? Because here your workflow could continue on any of those branches.
So
or
I'm
it could
stopping you.
continue on all.
This is why I'm refactoring everything, because the implementation that you see here will not provide a way to do that. That's why in the meantime, since Friday, I've been refactoring the stuff to allow an end branch, meaning it can go there and have its own life, or it can go there and have its own life and everything.
Yeah, it creates new workflows.
Yes,
actually.
and you can, and there will be also a wait all activity, which is then I wait for them to be done, and then like it will be a branch like that, okay, but in the opposite, which
Yeah,
means
so you would have
everything
all
which
or any.
comes here has to come here before this one triggers and continue. So it's like I'm waiting for everything which is incoming. So, and that's why I'm refactoring things, because I need an activity to be able to do some actions on the workflow, like unblock some task or block some task and some things like that. So this is why I'm doing some refactoring.
Nice.
So, but that's it. So it's almost done. I just reverted to this branch, to this code branch, just to show you the progress, because the current one doesn't compile. That's a lot of refactoring. Yes, and later the UI. But I wanted to finish this engine, because otherwise it will be, let's do it nicely first. But it's worth, and you see the nice icons here, and it's responsive. It's nice, beautiful.
Very nice.
That's it for workflow, the refactoring, and also more events on the activities. So for instance, this one uses a new event. So this one, the timer, needed an event to say yeah, you can have now events on when the workflow is started and resumed. So you can record, okay, like this one could save on the workflow state that the whole workflow has started at this day. So like one day can be after the start of the workflow or after it touches the activity. So there is a touch.
So you can have some logging activities potentially.
Yeah, that's actually another story. Yeah, you can log it, and so for every activity which has been done, you can log something, because then now there is an event. There is also maybe the error logic that we have to handle, like when there is an error in an action, like an exception or something went bad.
So that's not exactly what I had in mind. What I was thinking about actions that are really passed through that would just act as observers of the workflow.
Mm-hmm.
You would just, for example, you would put it between two of the events in your workflow here, and two of your activities, and it would just do something like logging, or I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think you have to do anything.
Yeah, maybe we might need some stories about around the audit trail, because people will want to know how many workflows have been run and what happened, which
monitor the state,
which path, and yeah. So I look into the other workflow engines to see what they do. That's it. And a little bolt, because Elon asked for a bolt.
I did too.
Yeah, but I don't care about you.
Glad I was able to influence that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, thanks. You did the right thing.
Nobody has asked me to make this a group icon instead of a user icon, like multiple users, but it will be done like this, because it is more for a user than for a group. This will change.
Yeah.
Don't care. And look at that. I click, delete. Okay, boom, done. We could not do it before. We could not do it. We could not remove activities. Yeah, like it. Great, done for this demonstration.
Okay. Does anybody else have a demo today? I don't.
New website. I think I sent you a new website. Just to show people.
Yeah.
Let me get it back. Websites.
I think we have a good one to show next week, that some of us are working on right now. Well, most of us are working on right now.
Yes, it's a nice one. Let me share it, and I will. I can't share. When I click on the share button, it's okay. Secondary monitor. This is nationalidag.se. Swedish website for news. It's a nice one. Everything in Orchard. News website.
This is in the UK.
.se.
Oh. I see.
And I don't think the language looks like English.
Sweden.
It's a nice one. Boom. Archon.
Proof.
Classic with we can see that it's Orchard, and they started with the theme engine, the theme machine.
Oh, they have a warper.
A warper?
No, that's such a fail. That really is a fail.
Maybe in Swedish we write it like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know, maybe it's in relation to the guy on the front page. He looks a bit of a whapper.
Oh.
Okay. That was the website of the week.
Okay. Triage then.
Okay. Why I stopped
Why,
sharing?
why can we see only Nick?
I don't know. Because he's the only to share. Because he spoke, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the only one to share his, I know, you too.
No, I'm sharing too. I don't know.
His hacked link.
Yeah.
What happens if I share? No, it's weird. Who knows? Okay, Orchard. Now it's you. Oh, a presenter locked the video spotlight on someone. So which means you can decide who you want to see.
Who did that?
So, proposed Orchard any version. It's increasing. I found the one which I opened and assigned to 1.7, which is that if you create a menu and you add some custom properties to the menu content type, you can't access them from the menu shape because there is no property linking to the content item from the shape itself.
Okay, so you just added content item?
You just, yes, when you create a shape, just add dot content and with the content item. So that's yeah, that's missing. And yeah, I need to open a new one also. Let me see, a customer which wanted to optimize something. Let me create it so it's like live. How do I create a new one? Here. Widget filter could ignore non-themed. Okay, so if for instance you have a controller which returns a themed false view, then you don't need to apply the widget filter because by definition there won't be any layout. Okay, and right now it's not checked. So if I know I do it for those things, they are not themed, but with the current implementation, I'm sure that the widget filter will still try to apply, well, to evaluate all the layers and then render
so
the
the
shapes.
benefit here is just performance?
Yes, just for performance, yeah. So
Oh yeah, and it would work also on the when there is a 404 on some static content, the whole object request is happening, so the widgets are evaluated as well, so that may help in that case too.
So let me
Do we know how much time we spend on that?
On what?
On the widget. I mean, is it a good use of your time? Hello?
Wait, I'm looking for the code. I'm looking for the code to change. Where is it? Here, there, because I have it. He gave it to me.
Oh, you have a patch for it?
He sent it by email. Something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I can say code. Where is the code here? Code.
That if it's that much code, it's probably not worth even investigating.
And status active, release 1.7, save. Boom. Okay, so we were there, advanced Orchard, proposed all. Okay. Oh, I wanted to start with the all ones. No, these are the old ones. Okay, so runtime error when module size is greater than allowed HTTP request size.
What can we do about that?
Try to upload the module from install a module from computer section.
8 megabyte module?
Yeah,
Really?
I thought the same.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I would
You
say,
know, maybe if there is a lot of images or content. or
yeah.
something.
So the solution
We should optimize them.
the solution is for them to change the web configuration, the web config setting,
Yeah,
and
there is
increase
an easy
that.
workaround and it's not reasonable.
So please.
I would also put a comment that 8 megabytes
No.
is not a reasonable size for
Yeah.
module.
Well, that you never know how many external libraries you include in that module.
So you see the bug here? What happened? I closed it. Where is the comment?
Oh, refresh the page.
Refresh it, yeah, they have issues.
Okay. Please.
I disagree with that 8 meg because you never know what external libs you might have. I guess it's not common.
Do you know, have you seen a lot of libraries of DLLs that are that big, that are megabyte?
Even Orchard is not so big.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's that's
NGF
insane.
OpenAuth.
well, I should check Piotr's module just to see, but no. Require nested sortable instead of including it. Nested sortable, as per steering committee meeting in nested should be required instead of included. You mean make it a resource?
Yeah.
Okay. Nested sortable. Okay.
It's very useful.
To have requires. Okay. Oh,
No, I mean, it's not just for navigation.
okay. So you mean it should be not required inside the what is using it, the navigation module, but something.
Navigation is using it currently, and it's including it.
But
it should be a resource so that other modules can use the same script.
But by referencing navigation, should it be moved somewhere else, like in jQuery?
Yeah, it should be moved to jQuery. Yes.
Okay. One seven?
Yeah.
I have another issue to create while I think about it. So explain. Today, when we use the resource manager, we can create, include and require. So include scripts and use and make dependencies on other scripts. But when the resource manager is rendering the resources, it's first rendering all the required resources, and then only the literals, like the scripts, the includes and everything, which makes it impossible to have a literal script defined in the output before the resources.
Why would you need to do that?
If you want to include a generated script, for instance, from code, before all the resources.
Why would you need to do that?
Or between two resources, because the order when they're registered is important for the scripts.
Yeah, but why would an inline script need to be included before a library?
Because
You
maybe
mean to prepare, for example, to prepare a parameter object?
yeah, or it needs to be run the first in the list of JS scripts. I don't know.
Yeah, for example, I think Google Analytics has that sort of requirement, where you set up an object and then a global object and it uses that object.
So what I think is that we should be able at least to use a temporary zone, so that resources are injected in this zone using a default location like 10, and they are all at 10, but then it's the resource manager which resolves which one is the first, okay? But we could then also add a literal at some specific location, and if we want, put it before the resources. That's
But the default would still be after.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
So
Would it then also be possible to do to control position of included scripts? Because sometimes when you want to include something, it has a dependency on a resource script, maybe.
so you want to include a file, but say it's a dependency on this one.
Yeah.
So it's generated after this resource, even if it's a literal.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we should
Yeah, that would be really nice.
change how things are registered. So yeah, yeah. So it's not breaking. I put it as later because we have to assess the priority. Forms authentication service default expiration set to 30 days.
Yeah, the problem is not really 30 days, it's that you can change it.
Yeah, this should actually be tied into normal forms authentication. Isn't there a we've got some stuff already being set in the web.config file, and that's where this should really be set.
So maybe it should read the.
Well, yeah, it should be working the same way as the other stuff is working in that class, and it's not.
Or should it be tenant specific?
Well, then other stuff would need. Yeah, maybe.
Everything today in Orchard is tenant specific. There is no configuration almost at all in the web config. Something like
Maybe
that.
just add a parameter in the settings txt for that.
No, we are able to handle settings in another way than in just settings.txt. It's called settings parts. Every setting is not in the settings.txt. In the settings.txt is what can't be done in the database. So it could be done as part of the setting of the membership module, the users module, membership module, I think, because it's specific to the feature which uses it. So Why not?
Requires SSL and forms cookie path are all in the and cookie domain. That's all in the web.config.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah.
things in the web.config, but do we want to make it tenant specific? Yes or no? I said yes. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
The
so-
domain settings as well.
So it can't be
Yeah.
in the
I
web
agree.
config. Then it's a
I know,
setting,
I know.
so it's
I was just saying what's currently there is those values, or that's what Orchard currently looks at.
okay. Future because it's not ready. Oh, I lost my comment because I edit the stuff. Okay, so I have to say. Okay. Future. Then I save. Then I can comment. That's a regression. When I say it's a regression, the comment box is a regression in Codeplex. Make it a setting. Submit. Okay. Content picker field styling is bad on front end. Content picker field is not meant to be used on front end. I don't think I want to care about that.
No.
We should make his own field and
Yes.
front end content picker field, and because it uses administration rights, so okay, close.
What about the media picker field? We do have an issue for that one, right?
We have an issue. We have issues for lots of them. Same thing. Do we need to have it working on the front end
Well,
too? Because
there is a case for making one.
so I would rather have the same answer, which is create a custom one
Yes.
for the front end.
I agree, but it's so common.
We should create it, but yeah,
Yes. In forums, for example.
Mhm. I agree.
Should we have a way to mark a field, some metadata to mark a field as not okay for the front end? Maybe.
I don't think so. Maybe we should have a feature which is front end fields.
Well, you
Or the name-
replicate the existing ones.
Or the name should be like front end text field, something like that.
You don't need a front end. text field.
It was just an example, like front end content picker field. Front end, or be part of the custom forms module.
Yeah.
Would it be an idea if we could use alternates or display types for editor fields? Using custom forms, we can see editor shapes on the front end.
Yes, why not? And I'm also wondering if it's possible today to define a full custom alternate for a specific form.
Yes, that will be.
Like you just create it with shape tracing and then you can change completely. I'm not sure like there is a way today to do that. I'm not sure, but maybe it's already working because it's just going the editor, build editor on the front end controller, and build editor will take a content dash to content type if it exists. The content dash content type dot edit. Maybe, or maybe for the part I have to check, but if we do the content type, there is one part. If it's already possible, I think, to override everything for the front end.
Yeah, you may be right. I didn't test it fully.
Add local content link button to TinyMC. Local content link button. Yes, why not? Currently, to link to local content, you have to navigate to the content. But this will need the. So there are two ways for doing it. We can either have a button which will use the content picker that we have today, not the pop-up that we have in the content picker field. So that's just a module content picker, so we can reuse it. And it can either render the URL, the auto route for the content item, or tag a token so that during display it will resolve the correct URL, because if it changes, then it will be accurate. But the second solution means that we need filters to be in place, custom filters.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree. We could have we could do it in 2 steps. So right now use the URL because it can be useful, and in the second phase, when we have the filters, change it to use a filter. It won't be breaking change because it will just render new tags instead of concrete URLs. And so should we create an issue for that feature?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
So I will create a new feature which is integrate content picker in it was in what, in the body?
Yeah, in TinyMC in general.
Yeah, in Tiny.
It should work in rich text fields as well.
But at least we could integrate it with TinyMC. So selecting content would inject the URL. Later, when filters render a token. Okay, status. When do we want to do that? I put it later because we can, at least we have it there. So if someone wants to do that. Okay, and then we were on this one, and local content link to button to IMC.
Yeah, I'm confused because I thought you were going to create a bug for the filters.
Yeah, now I see this one. That's integrate. So do you want to create a filter? Do we have a bug?
Something that would enable, modules in general to inject contents in rich text and have that transformed into actual markup.
Mm-hmm.
And that should work for TinyMC, Markdown, or anything.
What, you mean something similar to the body part, but for the front end?
No.
No.
No, that would be nice if you could, from that TinyMC toolbar, could insert.
Well, actually, we already have that.
What do we have?
Yeah, but you wanted to refactor it.
Yes, right? To make it more generic. Yes, yes, and so there is already the task, because I also suggested that we could, from the settings, define which of the filters you would like to apply for those ones. Like you could check BB code and check also, I don't know, HTML and code and check, I don't know, PHP. And all those filters will transform the result of a text. So it's already there is already a feature for that. Yeah. So I will delete it. So this one I delete. and this one. And this one. So this one is about okay, and so we open it, but for when? Later. No. Comment using the content. Parts managed by disabled modules still appear when creating a content type. Ooh. Yes, I agree. That's expected because when that's expected because when you disable a module, it doesn't remove all the parts and the types it created. O-form module. So close the O-form. Wait, look at my answer. Should implement the uninstall.
Is that module even being maintained anymore?
Yes, there's been a release last week or last days.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's the point.
No way creating a localized home menu item.
Who is this? Who is Extend Orchard?
Who is Extend Orchard? Where?
The authors of O-forms.
Oh. So my.
I actually paid them money when I started with Orchard.
So I mean.
Yeah, the structure of them is different. And he says, wish I have a home menu item and not in French. So yeah, it should be a separate menu, I think.
I'm not sure this is the issue. So the home menu item is suited with its page to a URL, which is the home URL. Okay, the home page setting. Yeah, so what he says is he can't create two content items with the same URL.
No.
No? Look at this paragraph.
He shouldn't be doing that.
And
That's
yes,
really bad.
yeah, but I understand what you say. I understand what he says. What he wants is that based on the cookie, or if there is no cookie, for instance, we go on the NUS, or so you imagine that if you go to the home page, based on your culture filter, it will select English or French.
Yeah, don't do that. That's bad.
So how do you manage that?
You have a separate domain. You have a separate domain or a separate part. Right?
So
otherwise, which one is Google indexing? The English one or the French one? I don't know.
So there should be a home page like slash and the FR version like slash FR.
Yeah,
or slash accueil.
fr.mysite or mysite.fr.
And then what do? You just do a redirect to the regular home page, and it has localized French.
Yes.
And you could do it the same way when you're handling it via IP versus versus an actual cultural dropdown.
Yeah, but a specific URL should have only one resource behind it.
Yeah.
So
So suggesting either the CNAME or the /fr.
yeah.
Question. Question. I have enabled localization and culture picker module. What is doing culture picker?
It enables you to switch the culture.
By setting a cookie.
Yeah.
Okay, but it does. Okay, but yeah, but
But then
okay.
it should redirect.
And how today do I do if I want, like, if I have the, so you think it should, if you click on an English resource and you have a cookie which says French, it should redirect to the French?
If you switch to the French culture, then you set the cookie
Okay.
and redirect.
But the home page will be, for instance, always in English in this case.
Yeah. It should be.
Okay. Do you have an example of a website with multiple languages?
I'm sure you can find examples of all the bad practices in the world.
Yes, but for child, I think we have multiple websites with different languages. Let me see. Culture. What do we have? I don't know.
Anyway, I would close this.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to, well, yeah, you can't have two content items using the same URL. And you shouldn't have different contents behind this.
Sorry?
You should have something about SEO saying that the good SEO
Okay.
is to have only one resource behind each URL.
Niche. Yes, and I have a good example. If I can remember, Council of Europe. Is it like that? Council. So Council of Europe, COE.int. If I click on this one, this is in English, okay. And if I click on FR, this is /fr, okay. And I have even seen that some of their website of the European community also, the homepage is just, you see that often, like the homepage is just which country are you in or do you want to see.
Yeah.
So the homepage is just a hub for every language specific website.
Yeah, you
There is
have
not.
you have that on Canon, for example.
Yeah, exactly. No, not for Canon.com. There is one, or maybe I already
They
showed.
changed it.
Canon aren't on Orchard, are they?
No.
We're not saying that. We're just showing examples
So,
of doing it right.
Council of Europe is there. Okay.
Yeah, they are not on our chart.
Okay. I will give.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Modules may be installed several times. Breaking UI. Okay, no, if you may install media picker field from gallery, but it is already in the input fields module. Yeah, sorry. Don't do that. Vandelay? Vandelay? Ah merde, c'est pour ça que... Oh, sorry. Is it on purpose?
Oh, it's a Seinfeld reference. That's it.
Okay, but nothing with French. Okay.
No.
Because it means something in French and I never figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Because Noisette is ready. Okay. You
C'est
may
classique,
install-
hein. Ça, c'est classique.
Yes, it's an English-speaking podcast, Ilan.
Run by French speakers for
You
the
are
most
not
part.
allowed to speak Belgium here.
I do
at
not
least-
speak Belgian,
yeah.
I speak French, but of course.
Cumulative version.
The French mafia runs all jobs.
Yeah. I will close
So
this one. There
Say
is
97.
What?
How do you say 97?
Yes.
How do I say 97? 97! How do you say it?
No, in French.
In French or in Belgium?
97,
Yeah, Belgium one.
which makes actual logical sense. In every language, you say 97. You don't say 80 plus 17.
Don't
But the
don't,
French
know.
have too many fingers, so they need to count with them.
don't tell Bertrand about logical and
Yeah, we make up for it with the metric system.
yeah.
That's it, bitch.
Okay, I close this one because
There is an actual firm called Vandal Industries. Incredible.
In Vandelay Industries t-shirts.
Oh yeah, lots of those. Next product. Is
Oh, I
there.
wonder what website's selling those.
Hmm. Select it.
oh, when you import it, so
Can't we just detect ID, empty IDs and just,
ignore them.
yeah.
Okay. Open the bug.
We need some sort of validation routine in that import-export thing. It's just that module is so difficult to use sometimes.
Yeah, does it generate? Does it still generate a report somewhere?
Well, if something falls over, if something fails to import, it doesn't generate a report of anything.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of weird stuff that goes on with that. I'm sure
Yeah.
Clay would be able to tell you more than I would. But
Team Foundation Service preview build to Azure websites preview failing on or hardcore web config the full
Still use TFS.
I cannot get
Do you like pain?
Targets can't open. Oh no, I don't want to reproduce it. Won't take this one.
Log this against TFS maybe. What's the error? Can you follow that? Oh, that one we can fix. That's easy to reproduce.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
We should fix that.
There might be more in there. Here we go. Access to path. Dependencies is denied. Huh. So this is on Azure.
Do we want that? Don't we need that web config? We do, right? So
I reckon it is better to do the solution of Japolsky by setting the build action of the web config file to none. So maybe that's something we can fix, which is put none on the web config file of media.
don't you want that to be deployed?
Yes, we want it to be deployed. But so when is the issue then? Why is there an issue?
Well, it needs to be investigated. It shouldn't give you that that error. Bad pass on media. Where does that come from?
Okay, so that's like, okay. Why is it coming? Okay. So there is something like that which is generated somehow, which is bad.
Yeah.
Maybe from TFS itself, but we have to check.
No. I had that error. Not
Okay.
with TFS. It's with web deploy that you see.
Okay.
I would not touch TFS.
Okay, so I submit and I say active for 1.7. That so taxonomy fields in custom forms don't use a display name. Okay. That's easy. With case sensitive collation.
In general, I have a question. Do you know, or have you guys noticed whether we're getting bug requests from more people or from the same people? And I'm not asking if we're getting more bug requests, but just more people involved in sort of.
It looks like we are getting most of them from a small group of people.
Yeah, the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 10 people.
I have seen numbers go up though, Bertrand. There are more
Yeah.
people using Orchard.
Yeah, we're definitely getting more bug reports. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily great to have more bugs, but it's great to have more people involved in there.
We don't have more bugs, we have just more reports.
Yeah.
Got it. No, that's good. That's a good thing.
Seems a lot more new people as well.
We have few number of bugs, but people are reporting all of them.
That's great.
Yeah, more Twitters also about from Orchard.
There's still a lot of people that contact me that are that don't go on the forums at all.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. They don't with me, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I always send them your email address, so you know.
Yeah, there is business to do around Orchard.
Yeah. So.
I don't know what you guys are talking
I
about.
know I make a lot of money from Orchard. Thanks Microsoft.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You make all of your money from Orchard.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, because you're still so rich.
Too much. Tell this to my boss. I got too much paid. So is it got an issue, and I agree. So for instance, apparently,
This database collation.
yeah. So the idea is that an Hibernate generates this query. Okay, this request. You see here there is a uppercase I here, but I'm sure that when we define it in the migration, we use a lowercase I. So you see what I mean. So now they are not even called Zoltan and a separate account Benedek. They use the same account now. It's like, you know, a joint account, a linked joint account.
Yeah.
Sebastian, our link subscription has run out, so we only have one link subscription now. Yeah, we only have money for one.
That's the UK boys.
And you only have one webcam and one
So
picture,
look
one
at
picture
look
frame
at that.
behind you.
What you don't know, they're actually attached. They're conjoined twins.
You don't care about their
The kids
clothes.
down below, they're totally attached. It's been very strange
And
because
You
fooled us
see
all
they are
these years.
well clothed and they have a nice hotel room, and most importantly, they shaved and they went to the barber. Look at them.
Yeah, totally.
And
Which
they're wearing shirts.
Which
And,
means
Yeah.
they must be seeing some important customers for them.
These are very good observations.
Yes, you're right.
Who's
you're
the
right.
customer?
Do you want us to tell you about that?
If you can. You want me to stop the recording and stop after? And you can write it on the chat room because nobody sees it on the recording.
That's not that big of a secret now.
Yeah.
So-
So yeah, we can tell you in public because that's not a secret anymore.
So,
If you want to hear it.
yeah.
Okay, so basically we're in Manchester right now in a hotel room, and there's a governmental institute called the National Institute for Clinical Excellence, and we were giving an orchard training for them for 5 days, and this was the 5th day of the training.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very cool.
And they say it was good. So apparently it was a great experience for everyone.
Even for us and for them as well. They learned a lot.
And for your bank?
Cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, also for them.
They call that I need to create a new account.
Yeah, they can't handle only, I don't know, 8-bit integers,
Okay. Good.
which is a byte.
So what do we do with this bug? I think we can fix it because we won't ask every module to create again their migrations to use the exact casing for all the tables and all the fields. So right now it's not possible. So I put it at active because it's an actual bug, but we can do that. Oh, look at that. I can change the bug because when you create a bug, apparently there is not this 10k chars limit, but okay. Okay, I will remove some data. Save. Okay. Oof. Okay. It's broken now because it's using Markdown.
Abort.
As so I will say it's the last bug for today. Now we are at 101 to triage. Okay? While you were chatting.
I'm listening.
Okay. So does it mark the end of the podcast today?
Any more demos?
No.
No.
Next week.
All right. You go have your lunch, Sebastian.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
So yeah. Okay. Still 100 untriaged.
Yes.
Okay. We can't not do triage every week from now on. We need to be disciplined.
Well, ask Piotr and Nick, because that's all the time they took at the beginning of the meeting talking about, I don't know, random stuff and
Random stuff that's going into core. That's
Okay.
Okay, so see you, talk to you. Bye.
Thanks everyone.
Good
Bye bye.
week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, see ya.